I've opened up the room tonight in the group to bring a few other people in on
Cool.
it so that we can talk about the Google AI that's coming up. Now, if you are a current member, which majority of you are in our Moneymakers group, then you will get access to this for free. I'll be doing invites from tomorrow once I get back from an appointment, and you'll have access to this. Let me share my screen with you.
So just to recap, Steve and I are lazy SOBs. We don't want to work hard for nothing, right? So we come up with ideas about how can we do something faster and easier, and we don't have to look at the tech. So Steve, because now he's got super brain power because he's getting space up there, is able to get these new things done for you guys. Um, I'm in the wrong group. I don't think so. But no, it's ease of use all the time. We know there's 16, 18 different tools that you can analyze your website, but this makes it another step. And
So with
we're going to keep building these kind of things.
with Google now, when you do a search at the top, it comes up with all this lovely AI information. And some websites are set for AI and some aren't. How do you tell? Well, we've built a tool for it, and it's nice and easy. So in this case, right, we're going to do actually one. I am going to grab. I'm going to grab the competition in pressure washing Wellington, and we're going to put theirs in, and we're going to put. He let them in, Robert.
Yep.
Pressure washing. I'm just going to put pressure washing, and I've put the URL of the competition in Robert's area. And we're going to analyze the site, and this tool will say what's going on. So we got 3 blocks found, visibility 60%, potential score 95. And as you come down here, it's going to show you what's wrong with the site, and it's going to give you fixed instructions on what to do, on how to resolve it. If you get super stuck, ask AI. Even you can go to like ChatGPT and put this in and say, I don't understand. Tell me as if I'm a 5-year-old. But it should be fairly easy to show you what's what. Now, let's go and compare this to Robert's site. I'm going to grab the link. Now, this Robert's site's been built using AI. So we're going to put it in there. We're going to do the same thing again.
Well, let's just recap on that, Steve, for a second, because it was built with Cadence AI. And the point of building it with the AI tool was to see if AI was being hurt or frowned upon by Google or not. So we built the entire site using AI. It's not finished. Unfortunately, I'd love to have it
Just to
finished.
say, Robert, Cadence AI did the basic build, and then we used Abacus
Right,
AI to get the rest of the content.
correct.
Based on,
Everything is AI.
but we haven't done it much with this site. No blocks, 100% visibility. Now it's got a 95% score, and the reason being, as you scroll down, it says to add structured details. So this is schema, and you'd add this to your header, basically. So you'd update this to it'd be your website name, uh, website description, and URL, and you'd update this on the header of your website. And there's plenty of programs that can add it to WordPress headers. If you know how to do like editing more deeply in WordPress, you can do it yourself. And that's basically what you do. And then you end up with the score. And this then helps you be found even easier inside of inside of Google search. And of course, all the other search engines look at Google and they are following the way. So we've used AI to build a site, and it's loving it because it's not being blocked. It's a great little tool, and I'm just going to stop sharing briefly because I want to switch to a new tab and show you. So what we've done, and that's why I'm saying people are going to get invites to this, is we've gone and created a separate school group for some of these apps. It's called DFI Moneymaker Apps, and current people who are paying monthly with us will get access to this. I'll be inviting you into it, so you don't have to pay. And anyone new who will be coming up, I'll give you the link in a moment because I've got it saved on screen, and you'll be able to jump in on this as soon as it's open and come and sign up. One nice thing about it in the classroom is we'll be adding other products as well. So this powerful AI bot for Facebook, Instagram, etc. I mean, I've been playing around with it for the last few weeks, and it works really well. And so that's another thing you'll have access to. And as we find good programs to add, now remember, this is a third-party app. At any time, they could disappear off the market. They could shut down, and if they do, we just remove it. But we add more and more as we go along inside of here for you guys. So that is where you come in, and when you come into this, you'll sign up via the link there to get access to the Google AI. I'm not going to show you it, but there's a code of the month. The code will get changed when someone leaves the group. That's the bottom line of it. And so you click on there. So when you sign into your account, you'll put your username, password, and the code of the month in on it. And so it's super easy like that. And it means that way, then we can give people access to this tool because it costs money to run on each search. And so this is basically going to be part of your membership. If you are already inside of the Standard Money Makers group, then you'll get access to this. You can buy it separately, but because because most of you guys are on screen, you already have access to this in your own way. Let's have a look.
Wait, let me share it for just a second, Steve.
Yeah.
You see my site, the page?
Yeah.
Okay. So I ran this search just before the meeting. And again, been a busy life, but we are currently in the organic at past the 3-pack and the rest of it, outranking all the other guys that have been here forever. These are all competition sites. So all AI, and whether it holds or doesn't hold, if you search pressure washing Wellington and you don't get the same result, that's not the point. The point is you have to build quality so that you will rank in your area, because remember, these are localized rankings. I don't want to rank in Wellington, Nova Scotia or New Zealand or anywhere else where there's a Wellington. And again, we built the site, but we're still working on it. These are the original images that came with it. Didn't change them yet. But we put all the content on it and did our normal training stuff that we've been doing for years. We didn't do anything different except we used all AI to create the content. And it's not spun content. It's not the stuff that we had been doing. It's just straight out of the box using Abacus AI, which Steve mentioned earlier. And in a matter of, it's been the beginning of June, I think it was, that we built the site.
Yeah. So you can see building with AI certainly works. We've got a lot more to do to Robert's site. Life gets in the way with health and all sorts of things, and sometimes you don't get to what you want to do. But the site's ranking on page 1 for his location. And I built another site for a client of mine using AI, and he was on the bottom of page 1 of Google for his location. He's now shot up to position 3, and it's only been about 3 weeks. I mean, his site was sort of already established, but it wasn't doing very good. So it goes to show that you can certainly use AI now to outrank your competition in a very easy way. I like Deep Agent on Abacus AI, but the thing with it is it can very quickly burn your credits. So you have to be a bit careful on what you're doing. If it does, you just put another 20 quid's worth of credits on, and it's as easy as that, and then carry on. I use Deep Agent to write me a prompt. So what I do is I first go in and I'll paste in, create me a page about this. Then I say, now give me the prompt on how you did it. Then I go to the standard version Root LM inside of Abacus AI, and I put the prompt in place, and I say, I just change one of the lines. Say, when I am ready, I will tell you what I want. Whack it in there, press enter, and then I just put one line of text to do with the page, and it goes and creates it for me. And the standard Root LM is included in your monthlies anyway, so you don't use the credits up like you do in Deep Agent. And just to say, Deep Agent costs an awful lot of money to have on ChatGPT. I think it's in the pro version for $200 a month, compared to Abacus AI $20 a month. So you can see why I like Abacus AI at the moment. And there may be another one that comes out. So yeah. Just say, Al, you say you can run this on Hostinger. Is that WordPress? Because the reason I say that is a lot of these AI builders that build on their own platforms, if you ever wanted to leave Hostinger, you can't take it with you. The reason we use Cadence AI is it builds in WordPress. You can move it to any host you want, anywhere you want. And I've heard some horror stories, not Hostinger, but GoDaddy stories of either GoDaddy taking control of the domain name or bumping the price up on your hosting. And if you build in an AI system, unfortunately for you, I don't think it's WordPress. Yeah. So, like, for an example, Wix. I've never known anyone to rank a site using Wix. I'd like someone to prove me wrong. I like WordPress and Cadence because it's such a light theme. Speed tests are always good. Optimize your images. So you're never tied in. So imagine this: you build a website for a client in Hostinger, and suddenly Hostinger goes, "We're going to put our prices up by 50%." Oh, okay, well, I'm not happy. I've got to rebuild my site for my client now. Unlike in WordPress, you can take a backup, move it to any host you want, anywhere you want, how you want, and you control that price. It's a bit like for those that have the DFY hosting still with us. If I suddenly put the price up to $100 a month, right, you'll be going, stuff that, I'm going somewhere else. I'm mute, Roger. I'd love to hear from you about your Wix experience.
It was horrible.
Roger's getting ready to slap you, Stephen. You're going to get slapped right here.
It was horrible. It took a long time, but it was all about the content, on-page content. And this was for a local painter and direct decorator.
Wow.
So when we do local pages using the Easy SEO plugin with Wix, you've got to recreate every single page manually. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But we got there.
But see, I want to make one point there. You did what we're doing for years, right? You looked at what else is out there, compared, and started writing content to outrank the content that's out there for those terms.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what Google still does to this day. So whether it's a pressure washing site, a painting site, or something, if the other competition sites have more content, better content, and more backlinks, and the sites are built correctly, they're still going to outrank you. But if you follow what we try to do, is take the top 5 or 10 sites, look at the content they have, make your own content more relevant and better content or longer content than what they have on those sites. And when you do that across the board, you tend to hit the missing, how do I want to say that? The missing content that all the sites don't have in common. And Google sees that and ranks your site higher. It's the same thing with the citations, the same thing with how you build the sites, how many pages, what's your competition got. And that's what we've been doing for years. It's the same thing. But now what we wanted to prove using what we're doing is that AI hasn't changed Google in how it looks at it. But in some ways, I think it has, because the AI bots are reading all the content. The AI bots are looking for any of the blocking features that they don't like. And it's the same thing with the Google My Business, right? It's the AI bots that are suspending them and shutting them down. But the reality is, if we build quality, we give Google what they like, the site will rank. They're still gonna put everything in your path in front of you with the sponsored ads, with the 3-pack, with the all the other stuff before you get to the organic search. But at the end of the day, it's building it right and with enough content. Because Steve says content is king. He said that I think twice.
I always say Google loves Google and content is king, but you have to have the right quality content. When I write AI stuff, I read through it and I'll occasionally tweak it if I'm in a generous mood to be bothered to do it. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, sometimes I won't bother. So it does vary on how I am. While I'm chatting, I'm inviting you guys, because you're on the call and you're already members. If you check your emails, I've got just one more to do in the group. And if anyone's watching the replay and you're already a member of the group, message me direct. I know who you are, and I'll make sure I get you added, because I might miss somebody who is a paying member. I will try and go through them all the best I can, but the best bet is to actually just let me know. And I'm just going to get one more while I'm chatting. Membership. So it'll be your school email address you'll receive the invite on. I'll just do this last one, and that's Bradley done as well. So all you guys now will have access to the new group, and so when you get into the classroom in the new group, just follow the link to the sign up, and then it'll send you a verification email of the Google AI system. It doesn't save you. It saves your email as a member, but it doesn't add you to any email list. Just so you know, because the way I work is members are already in the group, so I'll message you in the groups, and we're building a keyword one as well at the moment. So basically, you take your competitor's URL, whack it in, and fire it up, and it'll give you the competitor's keywords. That one's taking a little bit longer because of some tweaks that we need to do with it, but hopefully in the next 3 to 4 weeks that should be available. But I'm excited about the AI one because it shows you what to do to make your site AI friendly. Simple things like putting something in the header of the site, a bit of code, updating your robot.txt file. How do I do that? Well, install RankMath, and in the section in RankMath, there's a video about it on how you can edit your robot.txt file, for an example. And
it at least gives you an indicator that there is something that you can do, one more thing that makes your site better.
Yeah.
And the comparison of the competitor to the site that we built, they're an older site, but they're a business. They don't, as long as their site's ranking, they're not out there tweaking every little thing that's happening on their sites, if they even look at it at all. They might have had a web developer build that site years ago and just never touched it. But at the end of the day, everything that we can do as web developers, website developers, to make the site better out the gate, the faster they rank. I mean, besides indexing in less than, I don't even remember now, Steve, a week or 2 weeks, we're ranking in 2 months.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's crazy how we built an AI site thinking that AI would be the enemy as far as Google's concerned, and Robert's on page 1 of Google. Now, we haven't tweaked any of that AI. We've literally gone into Abacus AI, say, write me content for this pressure washing page here. It's generated. We've just Rob's gone in, pasted it in, click save. And we did it that way on purpose to see what's going to happen, how's it going to happen, and why, and if it's going to rank. So it goes to show that you can build a site using AI in a very quick and easy way and paste the content in it and not even change it in your rank. That is pretty impressive. All these gurus out there going, you can't rank a site using AI. Rubbish. We've done it, and so and it goes. The main thing I would say as well is always own your own properties. So make sure you've got a good domain registrar that looks after you, not GoDaddy. Build your sites yourselves on. I recommend WordPress because you can get so many different plugins available for WordPress at the end of the day. And I think that's an important thing to remember with all of this, that if you can build it up so that you own the properties of the sites, I've got clients on board that own their domain names, but I still own the site unless they're willing to spend a lot of money. Pork Bun, yeah, brilliant site lane for getting your domain names, and I've got a couple of domain suppliers at the moment. So Cloudflare's one. There's another good one, but unfortunately for me and GoDaddy's done their day. I spent a lot of money with them years ago, and they stole a domain name from me. They said that they asked for ID, I gave it to them. They went, "That's not good enough. We're keeping the domain name." And I think it's someone internal stealing it, and that's why at the time I was spending £800 a month with them, and I moved everything away completely. And the account manager phoned me up and went, "What? Why are you closing your account down?" And I told them I moved all my domain names away. I had everything with GoDaddy, and they stole one domain name. They lost all that money, and I think all these years on, because that was like 18 years ago now, maybe 20. 20 years of £800 a month is an awful lot of money that they've gone and lost. Now they probably wouldn't care because they make millions anyway, but it's it's something that happens. But anyway, so that's the main thing. So you can now test your site for AI with our new tool. Anyone watching the replay, if you are already a Moneymakers member and you're paying monthly in school, message me direct with your school email address and I'll make sure you get access. The guys on the call because they've shown up, have been given access tonight. So that's the bonus for showing up. You see, you get access to it straight away. So I'm going to hit a button and turn off the live stream. And
that being said, next Sunday we're not going to be on the call.
Yes, we're having a weekend off. I've got things on. Robert's got things on. We don't take a break that often, and with the kids being off and stuff like that, we just thought, right. And Robert needs time to get over his man flu.
Yeah, it's worse than ever.
Do you see that, Robert? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, it's the smallest violin playing its heart out for me.
It is, yeah, tiny violin, mate.
That being said, it looks like Sunday is the day. If this call is showing us the results of people that want to come in on Sunday versus Friday, we already said we're going Sundays.
Yeah, we tried Fridays, and there's one person who wanted to be on the calls, but he can't make those as well. So, but what we are going to plan on doing probably September time is sort of a midweek thing where me and Robert will go live. We're waiting for basically school are going to bring in a live streaming feature at the end of August where we can stream live into the group. And so I've got all sorts of great ideas. And so the idea would be that we could stream into the group and see your comments there. And then on a Sunday, do the Zoom call where you can come in. So Diner.also. Yeah, great one. That's a good one, Bradley. Right, I'm going to hit the button, and I don't know if we managed to stream everywhere because I'm testing one stream out. So if it didn't go out, I've recorded this meeting anyway. I'll put in later. So I'm just going to press that button there. Cool. So, and I'm just going to stop live streaming into the app just to play safe. So we are now just inside of the Zoom room. So you're welcome to unmute. Let us know how you're doing. Any questions? And if you don't want to unmute and you want to put it in the chat, I'm monitoring the chat as well. So let's say hello to Laurie. Good to see you. Welcome to you can unmute yourself.
Hello. Thank you for welcoming me back.
Well, you're always welcome. It's nice. It's great to see you. And the thing is, the summer months anyway, people do take breaks and go away. You know, last year we found the summer months quieter for us, and then we got to the end of August, start of September, and everyone started showing up again, which is great. And does everyone find this time of day works well on a Sunday for all of you? Brilliant, perfect. So
anybody not on a call that didn't like the time? Oh well.
What do you think of the new app, Laurie?
I haven't even jumped into it yet, but when I saw the notice come in your post, I was like, I am hitting this meeting. And
do you like the fact that everyone's now in here is a paying member of the normal group?
Absolutely.
And so we've given you all access to it, and it just means that anyone coming in just on the app side, we can cover the running costs of it, because there are running costs each month with it. But the nice thing is we're adding more and more content to Gumroad as well. So when you're being a member, Lane, just so you know, if you check your email, you would have had an invite to the school group, the app school group. All right. And I've done everyone who's on the live call at the moment. If anyone hasn't received that, message me in school, and I'll make sure tomorrow when I get back from being out that I check anyone else. All right. And I noticed that for some reason the live stream failed, so I'll put the recording back up on YouTube at the end of the meeting tonight, and then share that across all our pages and stuff. But the idea is we're going to release some apps inside of that group, which will be a monthly charge for using them, and you guys get access to them for free. And then we've got the normal moneymaker side, where we're going to put more and more ideas in there in the coming weeks and months and stuff. So it's going to be exciting. So how are you doing, Richard?
Get the buttons right. I'm doing fine, thanks. Yeah, I've been sort of diverted a bit by a client who wanted me to help him.
Those damn clients.
Set up a Kindle desktop, a book to publish it on Kindle. So I'm going through a learning curve as well. I've got a bit of software to help me, and I'm using AI to obviously find out different parts about Kindle and what's best selling, right down to the font. So it's quite a learning curve.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing with there, but the trouble being is that the client, for instance, today I'm trying to teach him how to log on to Google, and I'm going to have to carry on tomorrow morning. So it's really, really difficult on that sense. And it just reminded me that we were all like that at one point. And so you've just got to keep your cool and persevere. So it makes me feel as though I'm not such a technophobe.
Something, Richard, that we're very lucky. Just to say, Bradley, they're the only two we run in there. The reason we set a second one up was because there are going to be some apps that are separate to the Moneymakers group, but you guys get access to them automatically, and all of them as we release them. All right. Those ones will stay inside of that second group. Because we had some people who we've got like lots of great apps inside the main group for all of you. But it's just a case of we understand whether to put it into the same group or separate it. And so at the moment we're testing the idea, but on the second group we may merge it still into the Moneymakers one. We're just testing the idea at the moment.
Just to finish on very quickly, a couple of clients left, and I'm not looking for work particularly in many senses, and I'm fortunate to be in that period or situation. But two of them went, I think that they were smooth talked by marketing companies. And with having them in the companies in Google Analytics, I've had a look. And in fact, that their performance has gone down, even though they've put a few glitzy things on the website that obviously I built for both of them. And it just goes to show, doesn't it, that maybe you sort of doubt yourself and you don't have that glitzy front company in front of you. But what we've learned through you, these basics, and like you were saying about the Google AI and what it teaches you, if you follow that, like rank math, build on a good platform. Very interesting what you're saying about Wix, because I'm soon going to be working with somebody in the angling business, and I've already done a website for people who own fisheries, and they all, or the ones I've looked at, I'm not talking about the huge companies who have their own platforms and everything, are all on either Shopify or Wix.
Yeah.
So guess what? I'm going to be advising this potential client.
Move away from Wix.
Going to, I'm looking at WooCommerce. And I've never done that before, but that's what I'm going to be looking at and building using the AI through you and using what you've just said.
I was just going to say to you, Richard, just Google the AI, how to use it, how to set it up, SEO optimize. It'll tell you.
Just to say,
that's it. Exactly, and go along with the program. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. So what's nice is I'm doing what I'm doing, which is completely different, a bit of a headache at times. And I'm actually writing a book as well for authors about there's no such thing as writer's block. And I'm using AI for writing prompts. So it's quite, okay. So we'll see how that goes. So life's interesting, life's busy. Keep going on. And that's interesting, Lane, about WooCommerce. That's painful. Might have to have a rethink on that.
Do you know what I advise people when it comes to a store? Right, look at Etsy. That's free. You can set an Etsy store up and then link from your WordPress site to Etsy.
All right.
You can obviously link to Shopify. There's a few of those out there, and those are great for doing shops with. Just to say, my partner loves eBay. You could have an eBay shop, but it costs you a bit of money to run, but any of those platforms will work well for a shop, and also you'll get organic traffic from some of them.
Yeah, it's going to be quite niche driven, niche.
Ask AI, say to AI, what platform like Shopify is free to create a shop?
Yeah, I'll have a look at that.
Yeah.
I'll let you know, because
WooCommerce can be done if it's set up in the right way. I've never been able to get it to look nice. That's been my main issue with WooCommerce.
Oh, good. That's why Shopify and Wix win.
Yeah,
they're visually they're okay. But I'll come back to you on that. So that's me. I'm busy as always. I'm doing a bit of fishing.
And always remember, guys, as well, that you are the experts, right? When it comes to what you do. Do you know, I've got a children's entertainer guy who I've mentioned before, right? And he came back to me this week going, I really need my site boosting up. And I said, well, you screwed the SEO up. It's going to cost you money. If I'm going to put the time in to do it, you're going to have to pay for it. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. He's finally coming around to value. And he said, can't you help me out this time? I said, that's fine. I said, I've got families in a local school. There's at least 100 families there. So will you do a free children's party for each of them? I'll bill them for what you normally charge for them. If I'll do it at 50% off, and then I'll make money. You go and do it for free, and everyone's happy. He said, I can't afford to do that. I said, so you think I can do your SEO for free, right? On a site that you've screwed up many a times, in your own way. When he's having his new site built, I said, build it in Cadence. Get your dev to build it in Cadence. Went with Elementor. Now, I don't get me wrong. People, Elementor's okay, but I do find it very bulky. It slows, especially on shared hosting, it slows right down. Cadence, I get good speeds. Once you've optimized your images, I get good speeds out of it. And you don't get any weird things. Elementor, I had this really weird thing one time where you go in and it crashes and it comes up with an error code, so you can't even edit the page, and you got to faff around, finding ways to fix it. Compared to, Cadence is their plugin is an extension of Gutenberg, so it's just click go once you understand it. And we're very lucky. We live in an AI world, and like Jamie, who's a children's entertainer, I said to him, I can write content using AI, and he said, "Oh, I don't like AI," and I said, but it's not what you do; it's how you use it. It's how you prompt it at the end of the day, and so that's all good. I noticed it said there's an ML company called Talk Fusion. They claim you can market it to local business. It allows the business to send video emails. Is this something that business will buy? Is it hyped? That I've seen similar things out there, Al, that do that. I mean, we've got Prospecting Genie that you can put yourself in a bubble. It's inside of the Moneymakers group. It's a WordPress plugin. And what you do, you put your customer's website behind you, and then you put yourself in a bubble talking about that. You use YouTube to put the video up, and then you send the URL to the customer. So you put an email to them going, "Hey, done your personal video message. Click the link below to see it. Many thanks." And you can make it generic in a way because it's done on the URL. You'd have to go and look at Prospecting Genie to understand how it works. All the training's in there. And it basically, like I said, it'd be like this image behind here and me in a bubble, going, "Hey, your website sucks." Do you know what I mean? And just promoting it out there. And so we created Prospecting Genie for that purpose. And you just send a URL email out to local businesses, and they think it's been personalized when you make you make your video of you talking generic, and then send them a URL with their website behind you, and they think, "Oh, that's brilliant," So it can get their attention. Now, these sort of companies, but the videos into the emails themselves, they embed them. But my email program, just to let you know, which is Thunderbird, I've got a tick box to block embeds. So that's an interesting thing. So I thought, by all means, by the way, Al, do research, use AI to research these sort of companies and say, does it work? We have an advantage. There's all these businesses out there that don't understand AI. That I was in town the other day chatting to a chap who runs a coffee shop, and I was chatting to him about AI. He said, I don't do AI, I don't understand it, and I said, "Oh, okay, well, I can help you in your business to boost you." Well, I'm interested now. So we are the experts in what we do, and you need to remember that when you're selling your services. How do you get your pricing? Well, the way I got my pricing was I said, how much a year do I need to earn? If I was in a full-time paid job, how much would I need to earn, right? And off the back of that, you work out your hourly rate. And that is what you're worth, yeah? And so if you need to earn, I don't know, let's just say 60 grand a year, work out your hourly rate. And then say to yourself, okay, well, how many hours would it take me to build a website, even if I outsource it to a dev? How many hours would it take me to build a website? Well, in my case, if I was to build a website myself, it'd take me about a week. So you go, okay, that's 7 hours a day, times by 5 days at my hourly rate. That's how much I want in my pocket. Now, if it came, let's just say you worked out and it came at, I don't know, a few $100, Well, then you go to AI and say how much do people charge for a 10-page website? It'll come back with a price. Go back to your customer and say it's going to cost you this. We have to be valued at what we're worth at the end of the day, and that's the thing that a lot of people seem to forget. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's not hard to get clients. When I was in the coffee shop the other day, I was chatting to a chap about his website, and he showed me it. It was awful. I mean, it didn't. It was like built in the 1980s by the looks of it. When you went to it on a mobile phone, it was twice the size. So I've given him a price for a website, and if he comes back, I'm going to outsource it to my dev, and I'm put the price up on it. So if the dev goes $250, I'm going to go most likely a couple of grand for an easy turnaround, And then what else can I sell them? Well, now I've built your website for you. You're going to need all the SEO done on it. You're going to need maintenance done on it. Maintenance is X amount per month. SEO is X amount per month. Well, can't afford it. Well, then that's fine. Have the site as it is. I wish you all the best.
It's so hard to prove value on something that's digital and takes time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is my personal observation right now. Everything online with AI has become, that ain't real, that ain't real, that ain't real. I don't believe that. That's another scam. And I think it's driving people away from the internet. Because you can't believe some of the stuff they're doing with the AI. And, we're all fools if we believe that everything that comes across our page or our feed is legit. They're good at scamming people, and people are afraid, and that's a whole new realm to this. So that no like and trust factor of speaking to somebody for you to sort through that stuff to take care of it for them for their online business. That's where we're coming back around to. It's not they're going to come online because I'm ranking and pick all the companies. They're still going back to old school techniques, the flyers, the postcards, the mail, junk mail things that they send out, the one-page ads. And they're making those phone calls because they're local to the area. So we still have to think about, like Richard said, how people view this stuff. They can't even get into Google, which, okay, we all have been there, right? We all have hit that wall of, I don't know how to do this. Who can help me? Well, 5 years ago, you didn't have AI. You could ask, hey, how do I set up a Google page? How do I log into a Google account? Now you can get step-by-step directions in seconds. But all that being said, we have to be the know, like, and trust factors for the local business to get what they need.
I want to show you another little tip just for you guys. So can you all see Google?
Yeah.
Right, cool. Yeah. So I did a search. I typed it wrong in there, but how to fix a blocked drain. See this content here? This is written by Google AI. So think about this. If Google likes it, right, take this content and create a post or page on your website, an FAQ type thing of a page about how to fix a blocked drain. All right. And take all this content here, right, put it onto a page, but best of all, add in there, why bother trying to do it yourself when you can book us, ABC Plumbing?
That's a great idea, Steve. Just to take exactly what Google's pumping out there and make pages out of it.